Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're digging into Red Hat Enterprise Linux 10. And I want to be clear from the get-go. This is way more than just another OS update. It's really a fundamental shift in how you're going to manage your IT.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to talk about the big challenges that IT leaders are dealing with right now. Then, we'll jump into how RHEL 10 actually solves those problems, using AI, some really forward-thinking security, and cloud solutions. And to wrap it all up, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of why upgrading is such a big deal.
So, for any IT decision makers out there, you already know this story, right? It's this constant balancing act. You're trying to push for innovation, but you're also dealing with insane complexity and ever-present security threats. And of course, you have to do it all without blowing the budget. It's a lot.
I mean, just think about your environment for a second. Is it getting simpler, or is it getting way more complex? You've probably got stuff on-prem in your own data centers, you're juggling multiple public clouds, and now you've got edge devices thrown into the mix. Trying to keep all of that consistent? Well, it's a massive headache.
And then there's security. It's not just about patching the vulnerabilities we know about today. The real question is, are you ready for threats that don't even exist yet? I'm talking about things like quantum computing. Sounds like science fiction, but it's a real future threat that could shatter the encryption protecting your data right now.
Okay, so with all that complexity and risk on the table, how does RHEL 10 actually help? Well, it starts with something pretty revolutionary in system management. It's all about using AI to slice right through that complexity.
And the absolute star of the show here is something called Lightspeed. Seriously, just think of it like an AI copilot for your entire Linux environment. It gets natural language. So picture this. Instead of your team spending hours sifting through log files trying to figure out what went wrong, they can literally just ask it, hey, what are the performance bottlenecks on our database servers? And boom, they get a straight, actionable answer. It's a huge change.
So what's the actual business value here? Well, first off, Lightspeed lowers the skill barrier. Complex Linux tasks become way more accessible to more of your team. It automates the tedious stuff, which naturally cuts down on human error. And maybe most importantly, it frees up your senior people. Instead of putting out fires all day, they can actually work on strategic projects. All of that leads directly to a lower total cost of ownership.
Okay, so that's the AI side of things. Let's switch gears and talk about security. Because with RHEL 10, it's not just about locking down your systems for today, it's about future-proofing your entire infrastructure. This really gets back to that idea of preparing for threats that aren't even here yet. The whole platform is built to guard your long-term data against being decrypted in the future. You know, it's about playing chess, not checkers, with your most critical information.
And this is where the rubber meets the road. I mean, look at these features. Let's zero in on that first one, post-quantum cryptography. This is a huge deal. It's basically a new class of encryption algorithms designed to stand up to the brute force of a future quantum computer. What that means for you is that the data you encrypt today, think financial records, customer data, your secret sauce, stays safe for decades to come. And it doesn't stop there. You've got native TLS 1.3, DNS over HTTPS, security is baked into every single layer.
All right, so you've got this super secure OS. Great, but that security is kinda useless if you can't deploy it consistently everywhere, right? And that's the next big hurdle, deployment. How do you guarantee that the system running in your data center is exactly the same as the one in AWS, or the one on that tiny edge device out in the field?
Well, RHEL 10 completely flips the script on deployment. We're moving away from that traditional server-by-server manual setup, which, let's be honest, is where all the little errors and configuration drifts creep in. Instead, we're moving to an automated, image-based system that pretty much guarantees consistency.
The magic here is something called image mode, and honestly, it's a real game changer. The best way to think about it is that you're treating the entire operating system just like you'd treat a container. It becomes this single, immutable, kind of like a sealed package that you can deploy anywhere, and you know it's going to be the same every time.
So what does this actually mean for you? It means way less management overhead. It means you can say goodbye to those frustrating hours spent troubleshooting why one server is behaving differently from another. Upgrades become super fast and, more importantly, super safe. If something goes wrong, you just roll back to the previous image. It gives you the confidence to move faster.
Okay, so we've talked AI, security, and deployments. Let's pull it all together. What does this leap forward actually look like when you put RHEL 10 side by side with older versions?
And I really want to hammer this point home. This is not just an incremental update. We're not talking about a few new bells and whistles. This is a genuine evolution of the platform. It fundamentally changes the game for what an enterprise OS can do. This table really lays it all out, doesn't it? I mean, look at AI integration. You go from none to Lightspeed, a full-blown AI assistant. Look at deployment, from the old way of doing things to a modern, full image-based model. And security? We're not just tweaking things, we're adding post-quantum FIPS. You see the pattern here? RHEL 10 isn't just improving on what was there before, it's introducing whole new categories of value.
And underpinning all of this is a seriously advanced new kernel. We're talking version 6.12.0. Now that number might not mean much, but what it delivers is massive improvements in performance and scalability. Your most critical, high-demand applications, they're going to run smoother and faster than ever before.
So when you boil it all down, the decision to move to RHEL 10 really comes down to these 4 key outcomes. You're going to reduce your total cost of ownership, you're going to proactively mitigate risks that are still on the horizon, you'll be able to accelerate your innovation, and ultimately, you're building a platform that's truly ready for the future.
So we'll leave you with this final thought. Is your current IT platform a solid foundation for your future, or is it an anchor holding you in the past? Because RHEL 10 is designed to be that foundation, positioning the OS not just as some utility, but as a real strategic asset for your business.